Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Shop Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, November 7th, and we have every single sport on tonight, but the NBA is lacking some games. Only 3 total games for tonight. We're going to be breaking down one of those games, the Timberwolves going up against the Chicago Bulls. Give out my best game pick, and then my 2 best player props for the slate. Before we do that, let's take a look at the plays from Wednesday night in the NBA. We had the Knicks -7, the Pacers -5.5. Pacers, last time I checked, they were up 51-38 on the Magic. Knicks, they started the game down 7-0. So who knows? I really think I guess I really thought the Knicks would come out and play better defensively, but it's we're only 4 minutes into the game, so still a lot of time left in that game. Pacers game, still a lot of time left, but it looks like the Magic can't score again, so that one's looking good. We have Luka over 31.5 points, came out a little bit higher than I thought. Still confident in it, still playing it. And then Paul George also came out a lot higher than I thought. 20 plus points is what I played it at -115, going up against the Clippers in his return to that team. But let's take a look at the plays we have for Thursday night. One game pick. We're going to go with the Timberwolves going up against the Bulls. The Bulls are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to get a couple players back either Wednesday night or Thursday night. But looking at that report, we have Jalen Smith and Patrick Williams. They're questionable Wednesday night. I'll have to watch that game or just keep up with the stats to see if they play. I think they're going to be playing on Thursday night in this game, though. We have Josh Giddey, who is day-to-day with a non-COVID illness. I think it's crazy that they still have to put the non-COVID report in there. We have Zach LaVine, who's still questionable with a thigh injury. Don't think he's going to play Wednesday night. Could be wrong. He might not play in this game either. And then finally, Lonzo Ball's going to be out in this game. He's dealing with that wrist sprain. So the Bulls, they're kind of a mess right now. They're banged up. The Timberwolves are the healthiest team in the NBA. They got nobody on the injured list for this game. I have talked about the Chicago Bulls a few times already this season. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA, coming off giving up 120-plus points in back-to-back games against the Nets and the Jazz. I do think they've been somewhat competitive this season, better than I thought they'd be, but if those players are not going to be playing on Wednesday night and Thursday night, the T-Wolves are going to win this game by 20-plus or 30-plus points. And let's say all those players do play besides Lonzo Ball. I still think this is going to be a double-digit point win for the Timberwolves. So I'm going to take them -6.5 as the play. Minnesota's been up and down this season. They really rely on the play of Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo. He's coming off that bench. If he's got a good game going, typically the Timberwolves win the game. And I still think Naz Reid has a little bit of growing up to do. He hasn't been great this season. He was fantastic last season. Thought he might be in the starting lineup this season, but he's still coming off the bench as more of a six-man. I do think he's going to make more of an impact later on in the year, but whenever I look at these teams, I just think the Timberwolves have way more players. They got more players that can score. They got better defenders. This is the best, one of the best teams, I should say, both ways, scoring and defending. So I'm going to take the T-Wolves here, -6.5 as the first play. Let's go over to the player props, and we are going to start with the Milwaukee Bucks going up against the Utah Jazz. I'm going back to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Over 27.5 points. Might be a little bit higher, but I'm going to play it whatever it comes out at. I jumped on Giannis a couple days ago. He scored 37 points in a matchup going up against the Grizzlies, and they lost that game by 20-plus points somehow. The players around Giannis Antetokounmpo have really been letting him down because he's now scored 30-plus points in 4 consecutive games, and they have one win in those games to show for it. I think we have to start looking at Damian Lillard. He's not been playing horrible, but he's not playing up to the standard of a superstar player. Whenever Giannis is making way over 50% of his shots, having double-doubles every single night, having 5-plus assists basically every single night, you have to be able to win some games. This season, he's hitting 63% of his shots. He's scoring 31 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists. He has MVP-like numbers, and the Bucks can't win a game. Look at the coaching. Look at the other players. I'm going to take him here against the Jazz. This is a must-win game for the Bulls. The Jazz can't play defense just like the Bulls. He can score from the inside. He can score from the mid-range. He doesn't really have a three-point shot right now, even though he is working on it, but we're going to get a lot of points from the line. He's going to drive in there. He's going to do Giannis Antetokounmpo things, play some bully ball, get himself to the line a lot in this game. And like I said, this is really a must-win game for the Bucks. You can't be losing to bad teams like the Jazz. So I'm going to take him to have a big game over his total points as the first play. And for the final play tonight, we're going to be looking at the game I broke down. We're going to look at the T-Wolves going up against the Bulls. I'm going to be taking the best player on the floor for both sides. Anthony Edwards, over 25.5 points against Chicago. Anthony Edwards has been a little bit strange this season. He does have the capability of scoring 30-plus points per game, but he has settled this season. He hasn't been very aggressive, and that's showing up on the stat sheet because he's taken at least 6-plus three-point attempts in every single game. I'm not necessarily saying that it's a bad thing because he shot 45% from deep this season so far, making 3-plus from deep every game, but I am saying that he needs to find a way to be more aggressive because he only had 11 shots in the last game. 6 of them were from deep against the Hornets. He has taken more shots from the outside in every game but one this season. That is a crazy stat. Last year, that wasn't the case. We hardly ever saw Anthony Edwards take more than 5 3-point shots, it felt like. And this is one of the best finishers in basketball, so I'm not entirely sure why he's not going to the hole. And whenever you're settling for 3-point shots, not only are you taking away potential layups and potential contested layups, getting yourself to the line, you're also most likely bringing down your field goal percentage. You're not Steph Curry. Steph Curry is a different breed. He's the best shooter in the NBA history. Anthony Edwards has been good at shooting threes this season, but you need to get a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion. Who am I to say Anthony Edwards what to do? I mean, he's in the NBA. That's just my 2 cents. I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I think he is going to do that in this game. The Bulls inside, they're a laughingstock. They're giving up 56.9 points per game in the inside. That's the worst in the NBA. They've been decent at guarding the perimeter, so I do think this is the game we see Anthony Edwards put his head down, get inside the paint, get some layups, get some free throws, give me the over. 25.5 points as the play. Let's go over to the recap graphic. We're going to be taking the T-Wolves minus 6.5 against the Bulls. Edwards over 25.5 points. And then finally, Giannis Antetokounmpo over 27.5 points as the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it for the NBA plays and props for Thursday, November 7th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.